about to level up.
All right, welcome back. Once again, 8th graders. It is time to introduce your project. This project is gonna be a 2-point perspective project using your name. But your name is gonna be monumental, like a giant sculpture or like architecture. Now, usually at school, I use the larger size paper for this to give you a little more room to work with. Whatever you have available to you is just fine, but I recommend putting those vanishing points way at the edges of your paper so that you have a little more room to work. So I'm gonna start with my horizon line. I'm gonna put my vanishing points on right away. And rather than draw the posts or the corners of my structure like I've been doing in my example sketch videos before this, I'm actually gonna draw kind of a giant cone. And I'm gonna use that as the upper and lower boundaries of my name. So I'm gonna do my last name. I'm allowed again to use vertical lines. So this is gonna be my R. But with curvy letters, I now have a little bit of freedom. But the bottom of my R is still gonna follow those lines. O's, same sort of thing. I'm just following that basic shape. Vertical, vertical. And then for lines that are actually horizontal, like the center of an H or an E, you will actually want to get out your ruler and make sure that the angle is correct. I'm gonna freehand it, but this line should go, it should have a straight orthogonal to that vanishing point. Same thing with my E. Every single one of these lines should go to the vanishing point. Once I'm satisfied with this, then the other vanishing point comes into play. So now I'm gonna add some thickness to my letters. This is gonna meet this. And there's the side of my R, but every single letter and every single cutaway of a letter needs to have a side like that. So for example, right here, I would line up my ruler, go right there and try to estimate making about the same thickness. I made mine thinner, but I wanted you to see it. About the same thickness as the side of the letter, right? So we'll go even on the O, these lines are going straight to there. If you could, I'm cutting through, but if you could see them there. Let's see, I'm gonna wanna do some of that. And it should match the side of the shape that it's next to. So every single one I'm eyeballing, but you're gonna be good students and make sure that you're lining them up properly. Once you're done with that, you can leave this part of the horizon line, but erase it if it has a letter over top of it. Oh, there we go. Same thing up here, you can erase these little bits that you don't need. Now it looks like your name, or it should look like your name, but it doesn't look like a monument or a sculpture or architecture. So I want you to add a few little details to make it look like it's large, because I want you to give the perspective of size. So for example, you could do a little walkway. You could do one coming from the other side if you wanted to. You could draw little outlines in the distance of just trees. You could do animals, birds. I've had people do walkers or other people who are interacting with the letters, climbing on the letters, that kind of thing. But you want to add little bits of details to make it look interesting. Now, once you get to that point, you really are gonna wanna make it pop by adding some small details. You probably wanna pick a light source. So if I have light coming from this direction, that means that the left side of every letter is essentially gonna be in shadow. So maybe I go back now and I add a little bit of shade anywhere that would be shaded. Obviously, you'll be able to shade a little bit better with something other than a dry erase marker. You get the basic idea. Maybe you want some bold patterns on the front of your letters to make them pop. But basically add a little color, a little flair with whatever materials you have at home to try to make it look polished and completed. Email me if you have any questions.